Hey River family, it's round 2. This is our second video of the week and we're continuing our conversation on mothering and this mother heart of God. Sunday, we got to talk about not just what it means to be a mother, but also how to receive from a mother. And I think that this is a super important piece. One of the things that I realized just being at Bible school is that there were people who understood how to take advantage of the environment. And there were people who were just there. And not that one is like failing, it's just that like we have an opportunity to get the most out of our relationships possible.
Yeah.
Or to just honestly take a slower path, because we're going to get where God's called us to be, right? Like we have people in our lives that God is constantly sending to love us well. But I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be passive. Like I want to get where God's calling me to be.
Yeah.
And the thing that I noticed is the people who understood what it meant to be a son or a daughter got so much more out of fathers and mothers in their environment.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we talked about in our last video a lot about what it means to be a mom and how to be intentional about mothering the way that God does. But I want to take a second a little bit to talk about how to be a son. And I think you've had a lot of experience with sons.
Yes.
So what are some things that your sons did well that made it easier for you to mother them?
I think just being open and willing to hear what I had to say. You know, I think the Lord even used that as an example for me when I wasn't receiving well from the Lord, and then I would be working with them and it would get frustrating because they wouldn't receive from me. And he's like, well, that's how you're being with me. And it just opened my eyes to be like, oh, I just need to be on purpose, like receiving what's happening in the moment, being present. And I think that when they're closed and they don't want to hear me, then that is where there's no, I can't talk to them if they're not going to hear me.
Yeah. No, that's really, really good. I think that being intentional about understanding that we're listening for something.
Yeah.
That we have an opportunity to receive intentionally. I guess like, I remember in school that movie Osmosis Jones came out and we learned about osmosis. And I don't know, as a teacher, I'm sure you taught about osmosis, but osmosis is just like receiving something just like because we're close together.
Right.
So like your skin can receive things through osmosis by like water just coming in through your pores, and almost we interact with people that way, like passively getting things just because we're near something.
Right.
And like certainly that happens. Like if you're by someone who's loving and caring, that's going to be imparted into you. Or you can be intentional about looking at it and see like, hey, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And like, how are they loving so well? And what are the choices that they're making to be a good mom?
Oh, that's good.
And how do I reproduce that? How do I receive from that? I love the love languages conversation.
Oh, yeah.
When we talk about all the different ways that people receive love.
Right.
And I think one of the things I love about them is as a learner, you can either be all about, well, this is how I receive love, so everybody love me the way that I like it. Or you can begin to see that, wait, there are a lot of different ways that love is displayed. And someone could be loving me right now and I'm just not seeing it.
That's good.
Like if someone is an acts of service person, that's not a love language that I inherently receive from well.
Right.
But when I learn that that's a loving thing, then when someone begins to do things, I can see, wait a minute, they're loving me right now.
Right. So good.
Like I might not have known inherently, like I might not have felt loved if I would have known that, but now I have the opportunity to be like, oh, they're trying to love me.
Yeah.
As a son interacting with mothers, or as a daughter interacting with mothers, whether it's your biological mother or a mother in the church environment, we have the opportunity to look for people that are trying to love us well.
Yeah, so good.
Which is kind of like, it's so awesome. It's an awesome opportunity because we're regularly running into people who are telling us that they love us.
Yeah.
Or who are grabbing things for us. Hey, would you like some water? Or hey, they're giving candy to our kids. Or they're asking us how we're doing and actually like looking at us.
Yeah, they care.
Yeah. They're demonstrating their love, maybe sometimes in a way that we're not used to hearing it.
Yeah.
But they're demonstrating love to us. When you're hanging out with people at church, what is something that you notice that makes it harder for you to show someone, for you to love someone in our environment? So like if a young person comes up to you and you're like, man, I really feel like the Lord's called me to love you well. Can you see something that makes it that is like a barrier between that?
I think, like I said, just not being open.
Yeah.
Like really just, and maybe it's just because they were hurt and sometimes they're in a place where they can't hear.
Yeah.
You know, we get in those places sometimes where, you know, we're just dealing with things and we can't receive love in that moment, or we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? I think though, it's so important. We know we're coming here, right? And to be on purpose. Lord, you know, show me what you have for me today.
That's so good.
Because it's an opportunity when we're together
Yeah.
as a family, we're like the complete picture of Christ.
Yes.
Instead of our one slice.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have the complete picture.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's just sometimes being closed and not realizing that that's available.
Yeah.
So even just saying, hey, look around and be open.
That's so good. So hey, in a couple days we have church again.
Yeah.
And we're going to have another opportunity to practice this. And so I want to encourage you to think about, whether it's on your way to church or the night before or as you're praying in the morning, like, I have an opportunity this morning to be a son or a daughter. I have an opportunity this morning to be a mother and a father. And I'm not going to church just to receive from the Lord, though that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to church just to receive from worship or the pastor or a prayer or prayer at the end of service, though all those things are going to happen. I'm also going to church to both give and to receive from the person sitting next to me.
So good. So good. You know, that is, biblically, that is how the world's going to know that we're His, is by the way we love one another. So good.
That's so good. So take that opportunity this Sunday.
Yeah.
Think about it before you get there, so that as you walk into this place, you can love the people around you well. You can mother the people sitting next to you. You can be a son or daughter to the people that you meet in this place.